Hey.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. This is Awaken Your Chakras class, and this is a bonus interview that I'm doing with Isabella Giovinazza, who is an aromatherapist, and she's going to be talking all about essential oils and chakras and personal growth. So I think you're going to love it. You're going to love her, and you're going to love this information. So I'm going to just tell you a little bit about Isabella, and then we will bring her on. So Isabella Giovinazza has been working with essential oils since the mid-1990s. And after being certified in aromatherapy in 1997 through the renowned Pacific Institute of Aromatherapy, she began using essential oils in her own skincare line and teaching others about the amazing benefits of working with plants and nature. And then while studying for a master's degree in psychology, Isabella was inspired to create synergistic blends of essential oils and crystals to help align and clear the chakras to encourage personal growth. So cool. In 2015, she founded her company, Azure Alchemy Aromatics. It's a mouthful for me, sorry, to share these powerful oil blends. And her life's work centers on supporting and teaching others how to find balance and equilibrium in life through seeking inner awareness and peace using the oils to enhance meditation, guided imagery, setting intentions, and with prayer and ritual. Her motto, Outer Blends for Inner Transformation, sums up this process of using the power of plants to allow the release of old patterns, making space in life for greater well-being and vitality of body, mind, emotions, and spirit. Welcome, Isabella.
Hi, how are you?
Good. I'm so happy to be talking with you today.
Thank
I
you.
love the overlap in what you do and what I do, and how important we both see personal growth and creating a life that supports us, that's enjoyable, that we're happy and
Absolutely. And
peaceful.
I love what you're doing as well, because I feel like the more that we can have a forum and a space to be talking about animals and nature and all of that, that we can come to appreciate more of what surrounds us. So thanks
Totally.
for what you do too.
Thank you. So let's talk about essential oils, but let's start with the basics. What are essential oils?
So, gosh, essential oils basically are the vitality or the essence of the plant. And they are extracted from the plants hold oils in the cells, in their own cells, and it's actually they're actually a result of the plant's metabolism. And we can extract these oils from the plant using different methods: steam distillation, extraction, cold pressing. But they store these oils in their leaves, their twigs, branches, the roots. Trees store them in their bark, flower petals, all of that. And so basically, we can extract these and use the oils from the plants in the same way that the plants use the oils. And so what the oils do for the plant is they help protect the plant from their natural predators. And so a plant's natural predators are basically things like bacteria, fungus, molds, pests, parasites, insects. So when you think about essential oils, that's why they are so effective for humans against those things. For us, they help us, our immune system, they help as antimicrobials. So they're very effective that way. But that's basically in a nutshell what essential oils are, but they do so much. So that's what we're here to talk about.
Yeah. So how do they work when this is the first time that I've really understood why essential oils are effective for people. Like the way you explained it is really, really helpful for me. And I even been using essential oils for years. And I'm like, well, I know it's good, but I don't know why. And now I understand why. So thank you for that.
Yeah, they become like a catchphrase. They become really popular, and people think, oh, I need this for this, but they don't really understand why or how.
Exactly, exactly. So, what are the benefits and what are things that people should be aware of in working with essential oils?
Well, essential oils are very powerful. They are basically, they can be dangerous as well because they are concentrated plant matter. So you can have thousands of pounds of plant matter in one drop of oil. And so they are to be respected, and to be used with caution. They are basically molecular compounds that are in essential oils can be helpful, but they can also harm. So there's things like terpenes that are very grounding and antimicrobial, but they can also be hard on the liver. For instance, if somebody starts taking oils internally, there's been huge moves to put lemon oil in your water because it's anti-inflammatory, and it also helps with antioxidants and all of that. But you have to be careful. I've worked with people who, if you overdo it, your system can't break it down as quickly as you're taking in an oil. So they can be very hard on the liver. And I don't recommend taking oils internally unless you have guidance from a respected practitioner or medical doctor, just because I've seen a lot of the side effects. Some of them can be neurotoxic. Some of them can be, used in high quantities. I've even seen some articles very recently about how they're talking about them being hormone disruptors. And that's because people don't know how to use them. So they work very effectively with your hormones and your endocrine system, which we're going to talk about with the chakras. But you do have to be careful, because overdoing it, sometimes we think, oh, if a little bit's good, then a lot's better. And that's not the case with oils.
So how do they work when we like diffuse them in the air or put them on our skin? What's happening with our physical and our mental and emotional aspects of ourselves?
Well, that's one of the fabulous things with essential oils is they work in, I hate to say multiple dimensions, but they work on multiple levels, basically, because they will work with the physical body. They also work mentally and emotionally as well, which helps with your spiritual aspects. And this is why they're so effective with chakras. So the physical aspect is the last thing that comes down. Like when you get sick, we know that it comes first from your mental and your emotional state, and it comes down into the physical. Well, the same thing with the essential oils. They can be diffused in the air, which gives you a nice, pleasant smelling room, but they can also help to boost your respiratory system, for instance, in the wintertime, now that it's colder, if you're burning eucalyptus oil. So they have many benefits on many levels. And the great thing about essential oils is that they are bioidentical with our body. Our bodies recognize them. Another wonderful thing is that, for instance, antibiotics, we know that they're superbugs now because these microbes can actually evolve to for these antibiotics to not be effective anymore. Well, the great thing with essential oils is that bacteria cannot build a resistance to essential oils. So they work across the board and in a safer way. So I'm not going to get into the whole pharmaceutical thing because that's another story that could be a whole nother class. But unfortunately, Western medicine doesn't recognize this because you can't make money off of producing a natural molecule. You have to create your own. So the essential oils being what they are, they can have an effect. For instance, many of them can't be considered a sedative or a stimulant because when you use them in the body, they will actually adjust to what your body needs. And so that's pretty fabulous too, that they can actually recognize, just like your cells communicate with every part of your body, the essential oils will effectively communicate to help bring up immunity, or again, give you sedative effects or stimulate your nervous system, uplifting from depression. There's so many different things that they can do. So what happens is when you inhale something, when you inhale the essential oils, they have the effect of going straight to the limbic system, and that helps with oxygenating your whole body, for instance. So your just inhaling them can actually transfer them into the bloodstream, because these tiny molecules can effectively go into the body system that way. They can also help with hormones. We talked a little bit about the endocrine system or we should talk about that with the chakras. And the endocrine system releases hormones directly into the bloodstream. Well, when you have the essential oils, that can help offset and encourage that. So it can help with your lymphatic system. It can help to boost your hormone response, again, used carefully. And that's where the chakra oils come into effect. They, the blends that I make have different oils in them that pertain to each chakra, but they also, because so many essential oils do a lot of the same things because of what they do for the plants, there's no one essential oil, or there's no two, essential oils that directly do only one thing. They can all be effective in certain ways. So topically, when I do recommend diluting an essential oil, there's very few that you can put directly on the skin. Lavender is one, and tea tree oil, but most essential oils you definitely want to dilute. They can be highly irritating, sensitizing. They can also be phototoxic. So, for instance, you don't want to use bergamot and go out in the sun. You will definitely burn. So there's good reason to dilute the oils, but when they're diluted, they're very effective with topical use. With the chakras, you can apply them to the different chakra areas of your body. And then they also have the effect of the mental and the emotional as well. The chakras, as you've talked about in your class, are connected to the nervous system, and the nervous system pretty much runs everything in our body. So when you are focusing on a particular chakra, you help to free up that energy in the nervous system on not just a physical level, but an emotional and a mental level as well. So hope I'm not going off topic, but it's so exciting. I love talking about the oils. So hopefully that makes sense.
That makes total sense. And I love all the pieces that you're bringing together. But let's back up a little bit and let's talk about the chakra blends that you created. Like, how did that process happen? And what did you know about chakras that made you think, oh, these oils can help with chakra balance?
Well, I was actually studying for my master's in psychology, and I was doing a lot of internal work, as we all do. Psychologists look at themselves probably more than they want to sometimes. But so I was doing some studies in a lot of esoteric teachings. I got into alchemy, which is also connected in different ways, especially when we're doing inner work. And there's so many teachings about the chakras, and I've always been a health nut into in the health of mind, body, spirit. And so I had this idea of putting together some oils to coincide with the different chakras. And the chakras are also connected with color. When I used to teach, I would talk a lot about the different vibrations on the color spectrum. There's, red has a higher amperage than violet. So there's different waves. And so those connect also in certain ways on more of a subtle level that's measurable in other ways. Science is just now learning to measure some of these subtle energies through quantum physics, but the colors that we know of, that we can see, we know that they affect us in certain ways. So I wanted to put together oils and crystals, two of my favorite things. And I received inspiration like in the middle of the night one night, and just woke up and all of these oils that, for instance, like with the root chakra, tree oils are very grounding. They always give me strength in that sense, because they root us. They root themselves to the ground, so they can help root us in our security and our survival aspect. And then with the sacral chakras moving up, that's our reproductive. It's not just sex, but it's creativity. But because the passions that get evoked when we use certain oils are very powerful and potent. So I used certain aphrodisiacs like patchouli and ambrette, which is, I don't use anything that comes from animals, but musk. You can get a musk-like scent from an ambrette seed. And so I use that in my sacral oils, and then did the corresponding crystals with them. So doing like carnelian with the orange, and then I moved up with the solar plexus and yellow quartz. And so there's different oils that will invoke that particular section of the body or section of the nervous system that you're dealing with. So again, the tree root chakras, for the root chakras, I felt was very effective and powerful with helping you feel grounded. The solar plexus, I use golden oils, and oils, yellow just brings up joy and tends to be a lighter, the lighter fragrances. So even like lemon oil, I don't put that in this particular blend, but if somebody wants to work with the solar plexus, they could look at something like a lemon oil. And the yellow stones like citrine or yellow quartz. Heart chakra, rose came to me, of course, the flower of love. And so there's rose oil and lemongrass, which helps to release old pains and traumas that we've gone through emotionally. And then that you can either use a pink or a green stone. I used the green aventurine because that works up the chakras with the rainbow of colors. The green one is the next one. And then with the throat chakra, blue tansy and chamomile and things like that are calming. That's our communicatory center and how we express ourselves creatively. So being able to communicate effectively and to have calm when you do that. There's a reason why our heart rate goes up when we start arguing with someone. Your blood flow starts increasing and everything. So this helps to bring out better communication. And then with the third eye, you have your pineal and your pituitary. And when those are stimulated, they actually help bring oxygen not only to every organ of the body, but this is why meditation works with your breathing aspect. Every organ responds, but you're also opening up pathways basically to your inner wisdom, and then your crown, your outer wisdom, being more intuitive and being open to your spiritual side. And then I look at the heart as that's the center bridge between your material earthly and then your spirit, your more higher self. So that really was what started it, was just this inspiration. And I've really found some amazing things when I work with them with my clients, because I use a pendulum when I do readings, and I can do the pendulum beforehand and it's not moving at all, or it's moving in a counterclockwise, which means there's, it's sucking energy in, it's not open. And then after we do the chakra clearing with the oils, it starts spinning clockwise and it opens. So it's pretty amazing to see what works. And again, there's no one oil. I created these with what I was inspired to create for each part of the nervous system, the endocrine system, and then also the color aspects. But a lot of it too that I tell my clients is because you can use an oil to stimulate for instance, clary sage is known as anticonvulsive, so it helps with epilepsy and things like that. So if you're feeling like you're starting to have anxiety or something like that, clary sage is very effective with calming. Of course, lavender, people can find lavender anywhere if it's the true lavender, the true essential oil. And so in what I wanted to touch on was to use these in with your chakras and placing them on your body. You can also use them for setting intentions. We don't work with ritual really anymore. Our ritual is our coffee in the morning usually. And we don't work with ritual anymore for our inner lives. And we really need to be looking at our inner emotion and our mental state and help that to I like to use the word homeostasis. We need to find that balance between all of those. And that's really the holistic whole self, or else we're going to be unbalanced. And that's when our chakras aren't functioning properly and our brain gets fuzzy. We're not sleeping. We're too stressed out. So we're in fight or flight mode. And so really it's about finding this balance, and ritual can bring you back to that balance. It brings us to a space where we're setting intentions. So you are focused on that. When you're focused on a ritual, you're focused on that particular moment. It's bringing you into the now, and it's helping you to, just like with goals. That's basically what setting intentions are. And so using the oils for a ritual, just burning them in an aromatherapy burner, they are volatile. They can, meaning they can burn. So you want to be careful if you're putting them in a candle. I like to drip them around the wick and then light the wick so that I'm not, creating a fire hazard. But they can be used for something like that when you are really trying to focus on this inner journey. I also do the tarot oils. I haven't completed the whole set yet, but as I get inspired, I work with the tarot oils too, because those are very, very much linked to health and in your progression through life. And one of my favorites is the strength oil, which again has some of those fiery aspects in it, and oils to help bring on a sense of strength. So that's where the chakra oils really are great, is because the ancients have known, it's not just the Hindus who talk about chakras. The Chinese medicine has the three spots called the Dantian. Mesoamerica, they talked about chakras. They just used a different word. So they've been around. People have studied these for centuries, and it's really interesting to me to see the benefits. And once somebody really starts saying, okay, I'm going to do this ritual, I'm really going to work with this, they start to see the benefits. And so it doesn't become a chore. And when your life starts balancing out, you really can't do without it. So
how would somebody get started if they knew, say, their second chakra was out of balance because they have all these traumas associated with it, or they notice in their life that they're not being creative or interactive, or they're feeling antisocial or something? What might they do with an essential oil to help bring and restore balance in their second chakra?
Well, the second chakra, the sacral chakra, that's one, especially for women. I mean, men too. You can have trauma that goes back, from your childhood. And I would say there's orange aragonite that helps with trauma. That's a stone that has been used in a lot of magical rituals too. Carnelian, the orange oils, so like amber, which helps with love and passion. Things like ylang ylang. I think I have ylang ylang. I kind of forget what all. I work with so many oils, but I think I have ylang ylang in the sacral chakra oil, and that helps to release abusive trauma and stuff like that. So ylang ylang is a very spiritual oil that is great for meditation as well. A lot of the oils, for instance, like frankincense that I use in my third eye chakra oil, they actually can calm the mind, but raise the emotion, raise the spirit. So again, kind of like we were talking about earlier with being a sedative or a stimulant, same thing with the oils when you're working on an ethereal level. They can actually serve both purposes. And a lot of it is just clearing. So I have worked with some clients who have had abuse problems, and it can bring up a lot of emotion. I've had clients just start bawling in my chair. And so I would say to people to encourage them to do it. Don't be scared. The first thing that we run into when we start doing inner work is we run into ourselves. But it's worth it, because once you can release a lot of these emotions, and they're finding in science, even physically, we hold tension in our bodies, in our muscles. I mean, that's why we're not even breathing properly, and we have a hard time sometimes getting into a meditative state. So just releasing these energies and this emotion can be very, very powerful. And it doesn't happen overnight. I always want to tell people too, there's no one and done. It doesn't happen overnight. It's something that you have to be dedicated to. And that's why I stress the ritual side, because you can't afford not to do this for yourself. I mean, we don't make the time because we don't have the time, but honestly, I read an article recently where it's not stealing time, it's the time you're owed to yourself. You know, we're owed this time and we should take it. And it really, you know, if we can't balance ourselves, we can't balance the earth. So we have to start right where we're at. And that's why I'm so excited to be able to work with plants, because again, essential oils have become a catchphrase, but a lot of people don't really understand them or don't know where to start. And it's very simple. I've been working on making smaller bottles that I'm going to add to my website so that people can get the whole set of the chakra oils if they want them. But I have found when I've sold at fairs and farmers markets, people are drawn to exactly what they need. So for instance, I had a lady come up who was drawn right to the solar plexus oil, which I love. That's your center of balance and your confidence and your well-being. And she said, oh, that's perfect because I have a job interview tomorrow. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, we're usually drawn to the one that we need the most. Same thing with crystals. If you're looking for that color crystal to balance your chakra, go with what draws you. The other thing that I know you've talked about in your classes is that chakras can work both ways. They can be overstimulated as well. So somebody who has, we were talking about the sacral chakra, somebody who has like a sex addiction, it's helpful to use the opposite color to help calm that swirling energy that just seems to not stop, that we seem like we don't have control over. Same with addictions. If we can work with the opposite color, so for instance, blue is the opposite color of orange, we can actually help to calm that. So when we work on our communication and how we're expressing ourselves, we can help to calm that sacral chakra. And again, the heart's right in between. We need to listen to our hearts more for sure. So that bridge between really helps. But so again, yeah, working with the opposite color will help to understimulate if a chakra is overstimulated. Because sometimes people, especially in the spiritual world, we think we need to be up here all the time. And then we're not balanced and we're broke and sick all the time, right? So if you're constantly thinking, I need to be in spirit, I need to be in spirit, it might be good to just focus on your creativity, your sacral chakra. You know, that doesn't mean you need to go out to the bars, and but you can start doing something creative that you love to do that you haven't done in a while. Ground yourself with some tree oils.
So if somebody wanted to do that, would they put the oils on their skin? Would they put it like right where the chakra is? Would they put it in a diffuser? How would they, bring that essential oil into their energy field to start working its magic?
Well, again, you want them diluted. My chakra oils are diluted, so they are safe to put on the body. You can burn them in an essential oil burner. Now, because mine are blends, I wouldn't use them in an ionic diffuser. An ionic diffuser breaks down the molecules, the ion, and creates ions so that we have healing benefits from particular essential oils, so like nebulizers and things like that. But for the diluted oils, when you're playing around with them and stuff, and if you're using the chakra or the tarot oils, I burn the new moon oil on the new moon, and today's a full moon, so I'll be burning the full moon oil. And you can burn those in some water in an aromatherapy burner, and those are the burners with a little tea light underneath. You're certainly welcome to wear them as fragrance. The chakra oils, when I work with my clients, for instance, with the heart, I just worked with someone who she's lost a lot of people in her family, and so we were clearing some heart chakra, did some guided imagery, and I'm having her put the heart chakra right here on the heart. So that also is a ritual. It brings us to this part. It brings us as a reminder to what we're working on. So for instance, with root chakra, you can even put it on the knees or the top of the feet, so that as you're walking out the door, you feel grounded. And crown chakra here, third eye, really open up here. I like to use the third eye one when I'm doing meditation. That one has frankincense and myrrh oils that really help with the breathing aspect. My crown chakra has the Palo Santo. Palo Santo is a little known essential oil that has been used in South America in rituals for centuries. It's very powerful. It's the same family as like frankincense and myrrh, and really helps open up that that inner sight so that you can receive. So basically, and again, inhalation. When you smell chocolate chip cookies, you know, can bring you back to grandma's house. So there's a reason why that's so powerful. And they found that the stimulation response from your olfactory, your sense of smell, actually works faster and stronger than sight or hearing. So just inhalation is very, very powerful. Sometimes I'll carry, in fact, I have, before I go to work, I have the root chakra in my bathroom, and I just open it and smell it before I leave, just for grounding. So inhalation is very, very effective as well. Again, putting it in the candles. I have some people that mix them with salt for ritual. You can actually dilute them with honey and put them in your bathtub. Oil and water don't mix.
That's nice.
So if you pour them in the bathtub, they're gonna like separate into little droplets on the top of your bath, on the top of your water. But if you dilute them in some honey, you can add that to your bath. Yeah, they're very effective there's many, many ways. We don't need to be, you know, swallowing essential oils for them to necessarily work correctly. There is a place for that, but that's not with the chakras. Basically, you know, just putting them on the body in that particular area where you're trying to work with. And with crystals, now I put tiny, tiny crystals in my bottles, but you can buy crystals of a larger size, and you can actually, the light wave of that color can work in conjunction with your body. So you can, for instance, put the orange sacral stone on your sacrum. For root is really the perineum. It's the base. It's the kundalini. It's the base of the spine. So it's hard to, you know, you don't want to put that on. I mean, you can put it on your knees. You can put it just above the pelvic bone for root chakra if you're laying down. Heart, of course, right on the heart. There's the throat. You know, third eye. So you can work with these crystals. You don't have to place them right on the chakra either. There's a purple stone called lepidolite that actually helps with depression, and it has a lithium compound in it. So it's not surprising. I've had people say that if they carry the lepidolite with them, they're actually tired all day. So even stones can have such a calming effect. We just don't usually pay attention because it's on a subtle level. And the more that we work with the chakras and with oils and with animals and plants, we're working on a subtle level, and we do need to listen.
I feel like you've given us so much good information for getting us started and opened up all these possible ways to just explore and experiment safely with essential oils. But when would we need to go to an expert to get help?
Well, it's kind of like they say, if you're sick, if this hurts, you know, either stop doing that or go see the doctor. So if something is a continual chronic issue, and again, when I do my energy medicine, I have people read my my disclaimer basically that says, I am not a medical doctor. I'm a practitioner. They're very different. I know a lot, but in working with the healing aspect, I work in conjunction with your doctor and with your psychotherapist. So this is an enhancement to what you're already doing. So it depends on the situation. If you have a physical problem that's not going away, even with essential oils, then go see your doctor, because sometimes, you know, things in our life, emotionally, we're not releasing something, so the physical is not going to go away. So it's sometimes good to go see your medical doctor, or if you're constantly in a state of depression and you can't get out of that, go see your therapist. These are tools that you can use on your own. So even though I have people come to me, for instance, with guided imagery, I'm helping them to be able to do this at home as well. So the time to see someone is when you feel like, hey, I need some extra support. There is support out there And I want to encourage people that sometimes the first step, you do need some support. You need someone else with you to help you with this. So, my email's on my website. You have wonderful people that follow you, and I'm sure you get tons of emails. Just basically asking the questions and then seeking that support is when you feel you need it. And sometimes we don't think we need it, and we do. So I would say, if something's chronic and won't just leave you alone, definitely seek support. Sometimes it takes that objective point of view to help you see inside. We are mirrors for each other, just like our animals are for us. And the plant spirits too. We talked before about when you and I talked personally about how power animals can really help with things on a subtle level, and the same thing with plants. They can really help on that subtle level, but we do need to seek first and ask. So it's just a matter of asking and finding that support.
And for people who want to know more about you and the work that you do in your chakra blends, they can find you online at azuralchemy.com, right?
Mm-hmm. azuralchemy.com. I will say I haven't had a lot of time because I work full time also. I haven't had a lot of time to really update. The chakra oils are on there, but not in the smaller bottles. I also make healing oils for like toe fungus and things like that because I'm licensed in manicuring and aesthetics. So I'm really wanting to add a page of holistic things that people can use practically, like we talked about too. But if somebody has a question, they can definitely email me on azuralchemy.com. My email, personal email they can send for the oils too is azuralchemyaromatics with an S on the end @gmail.com as well.
Awesome.
And if you're in the Petaluma area, in California, up here
stop
in
on by.
Yeah.
So Isabella, you can reach her at azuralchemy.com. That's the website. And azuralchemyaromatics@gmail.com.
That's it. You got
it. Tongue twister for me.
It's a long one.
Well, I hope everybody has learned something about essential oils and how they can benefit the chakras and how you can work with your chakras through essential oils and bring balance to all aspects of your life. And Isabel, I want to thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and your information with us today. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
And thanks everybody for being part of the class. I look forward to seeing you in the next lesson or the next bonus lesson, whatever comes next. Have a great day. Bye, everybody.